It's important to study history because everything about the present comes from it. If we don't understand how political ideas have been shaped by past contexts, if we don't understand why or how particular cultural ideas have been shaped and influenced from the past, how do we understand what's going on now? How do we understand where we're going if we don't understand where we come from? Historians often talk about the books that they read as children. I certainly was a child growing up in Sydney who was constantly at the public libraries trying to find older and older books, and I have to say constantly in the Australian Museum trying to look at older and older rocks. I think as a child it was an imaginative process of being intrigued by past times. The more information about the past I gathered, the more I could see that past still alive in streets and on street names and in what people say and in what people think even. New Earth Histories is a program that develops from my long-standing interest in the history of geology and geosciences. How do we know facts about the Earth's origin? How do we think about time and the age of the Earth? You only have to go back a couple of generations, and geologists were often theologists. So the age of the Earth was a scholarly question deeply connected to biblical origins. That was how the age of the Earth was claimed to be, perhaps 5,000 or 6,000 years only. And in the mid-19th century, knowledge about the age of the Earth started to shift from that theological understanding to a more modern, commonly understood understanding. We know that when Scottish geologists were undertaking work in India in the mid to late 19th century, their field workers were often Hindu. And the Scottish geologists were deeply interested in the Hindu comprehension, the Hindu estimation of the age of the Earth. So in New Earth Histories, myself, my team of postdoctoral scholars are going to chip away at this really interesting history that connects the history of geology with the history of world cosmologies, thereby creating what I'm calling New Earth Histories, a new way of understanding the connection between history and time and our understanding of the Earth itself.